Hey guys, welcome to Cricket Fanatics Magazine. This is your daily show. I'm your host Khalid Mohidin, and this is the show where we talk about all the major talking points in South African cricket. Now, on today's show, I'm going to be talking to you guys in the live comments, and I want to get your thoughts on who you are looking forward to see during this Proteas versus England tour. Now, there are a lot of players that are going to be in the spotlight, and there are a lot of different types of players in the squad. Some guys from various different franchises. And so I think that a lot of you guys are going to have affiliation to different types of players. But before we get going into today's topic and before we get going by chatting to you guys in the live comments, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Please don't forget to click that notification bell for all future videos. Now, I'm really excited about this England tour. Now, we know that England arrived today, and we got a couple of footage on the Twitter channel, and we have a few articles that we're going to be producing over this next week to get you guys hyped up for the England tour. Everybody's obviously very, very excited about having a tour against England again and having competitive cricket on our TV screens again. It came at perfect timing with the interim board being appointed as well. CSA obviously announcing that today, almost exactly the same time as the footage came out with regards to England landing in Cape Town. So it's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be very exciting. I know I'm looking forward to it. I hope that you guys are looking forward to it. And we're going to try to give you the best possible coverage from a fan's point of view, from some of the experts out there, and from everybody that loves the game of cricket. We want to be able to give you guys the best possible content as fans that is relatable and give you guys a voice throughout the series. We're going to be having some live shows during the series. We're going to have plenty of videos that you guys can interact with and give your opinions about the games. So stay tuned. And that's why you guys need to obviously subscribe and click the notification bell, because then you get updated with all the videos that we'll be doing. So let's get into today's topic. And let me first start by saying who are some of the guys that I'm looking forward to. So as you see, this is the Proteas 24-man squad. It's obviously a combined squad for both the T20s and the ODIs. I think we mentioned it in previous videos as well as you guys in the comments that we think that South Africa is going to go with a more experienced team for the T20s and keep an extreme unit or a very close-knit unit that has a balance of experience and youth for the T20 World Cup. So when I look at this particular squad and I think about some of the players that I'm really excited to see, some of them might be obviously for ODIs, some of them might be for T20 cricket. But let's start with T20 cricket. Let's talk about some of the guys that I'm hoping to see. So when I look at this list, we know the normal names that we can mention. For example, Quinton de Kock. We know about Themba Bavuma. Obviously, Faf du Plessis, the names that everybody knows. But the ones that I'm really looking forward to see, and I'm hoping they give him an opportunity, is Yanaman Malan. Now, I think that's the first one we should talk about. Yanaman has been excellent in T20 cricket. Here are his averages. He hasn't really hit it home as well as in first-class cricket. I think he has better averages in first-class cricket, but we can see how he performed for the Cape Town Blitz in the time in the Mzansi Super League. And we can see that he's been relatively good as well for the Cobras as well. But mainly for the Blitz, that's when he's really stepped up his game. Obviously, that 99 not out against the Josie Stars. I remember watching that game feeling very sad that he didn't get to that. And it showed his unselfishness that he was going to go for the win instead of actually trying to get essentially the win was more important for him. So that's Yanaman Malan's stats. I want to know what you guys obviously think. I see Werner already in the comments, so welcome guys, and get into the comment section. Let me know who's in the spotlight for you. I see Werner saying, I'm looking forward to seeing whether Malan, Verreynne, Klaasen can follow up their good series against Australia with another solid one in the ODI series. I'm obviously hoping that we get to see Yanaman in the T20 game as well. But looking at that squad, it seems like that South Africa is probably going to go for an opening pair of Quinton de Kock and Themba Bavuma, and then Faf du Plessis in number 3 position. I think that's going to be the things that they're going to be looking at. Um, Lubabalo is obviously saying different format, but Yanaman looks like he is struggling with form at the moment and seriously struggling against spin too. Now, a lot of the South African young batsmen are struggling against spin. Obviously, we had an amazing conversation with Reina Pantonati, how he copes with spin and how he's worked on his game against spin. So I think a lot of players can take a leaf out of his book as a youngster who also hasn't had the opportunity, obviously, to play against spin. Um, Lubabala again saying in the comments, if they are working towards the T20 World Cup, then Temba gets the nod ahead of Yanaman at the moment. And that's 100% true. I think that that's something that they're going to be looking at. If I look at the squad, there's a hell of a lot of experience in this particular squad. Looking at the names of some of them, we can see that Pat van Biljon is in this team. We know Rassie van der Dussen is probably going to take that number 4 spot. We know that Boucher does back Pite and believes in Pite's ability. And we can see obviously over here as well. And I know we're talking just about the batsmen, but I think that the bowlers kind of pick themselves. Lungi, Anrich, Andile, and Kagiso Rabada, they kind of pick themselves, and including the spinners as well. What's going to be interesting to see is whether they're going to try Keshav Maharaj in the T20 format. Because another guy that I think is going to be in the spotlight is obviously Bjorn Fortuin. Now, Bjorn is been incredible, especially for the Paul Rocks, showing his ability in the T20 format. It's quite interesting, his stats. I mean, for the Paul Rocks, he's playing 18 games. And as you can see over here, you can see his stats. I mean, obviously 17 wickets. A decent economy, and we've seen him open the bowling for the Rocks as well. So that's been quite interesting. I think Bjorn Fortuin is one of those guys that I'd like to see more often in the T20 format as a spinner. But then again, you have to think about you have to know that Tabrei Shams is in the side, and Tabrei Shamsi is top notch. He's obviously in great form at the moment. We can obviously see how he's playing, but I know it's a different format. But confidence is confidence, and he's really showed his ability in that format. A lot of guys will probably say that Keshav Maharaj will probably be given a go in the ODI format and maybe not in the T20 format. But we'll see how the game unfolds. I would have liked to see Imran Tahir in the squad because he didn't get much game time in the IPL. And if they're going to be giving him an opportunity in the T20 World Cup, I would really like to see him in the squad. I would really like to see him being given an opportunity, unless he hasn't been given an opportunity in this particular series. He's not going to be given an opportunity in this particular series. So that's my take on them. But another guy that I would like to say that I really think will get an opportunity to showcase his talent, and I think it's a player that we've been missing. It's a player that we've been looking for in that number 6 position, and that's someone like George Linder. I would like to see him get an opportunity in the T20 format. Obviously, he's getting a call up for this particular series. We can see his stats over here in 11 matches with the bat. He hasn't really hit it home with regards to T20 cricket for the Cape Town Blitz. But you can see his average. I mean, not his average, but you can see his ability has shown a little bit for the Cape Cobras in T20 in the T20 format and for Western Province. We haven't really seen him really showcase his talent with regards to the bat for the Blitz. But we know he can hit the long one, and we need someone in the number 6 position that can actually bat and hit the long ball as well as play the spinning option, especially because of the World Cup being in India. Here's his bowling stats. You can see that he's taken 10 wickets for the Blitz. Obviously, it shows over here in 11 matches. And he's been quite a pretty good bowler for the Cobras and really stuck in. We're hoping that he will be able to given an opportunity. That's all that he can hope for. We are looking for a batting spinner. I know that John Smuts is in the side as well as that, but number 6 type of role. Even though John is a type of guy that opened the batting for the Proteas before, he can bat in the top order, and he bats in the top order for the Warriors. So to put him in number 6, is it maybe taking him out of his usual position that he's used to? Can he play that big hitting role? We have to actually wait and see, give him more opportunities, obviously, and then see how he performs. But that's my take. I think that those are the guys that are going to really be in the spotlight, especially in the T20 game. I'm not going to really go too much in the ODI side because we can talk about the ODI side closer to the games. What I think is that guys like Yanaman Malana and guys like Bjorn Fortuin, Luto Sipamla is another one. Lutusupam has been excellent. In obviously in the T20 format, he's played obviously for South Africa, and in a couple of games that we've seen his talent. You can see over here in T20s, he's taken 4 wickets in 5 games. He's only played 4 matches in ODI cricket. So we know that he has the ability to have a very good economy rate. We can see that in the list A games with economy rate of 5. It's not the best economy rate, but it's decent. And with his pace that he delivers, I hope he added some different variations to his game as well, because with the pace that he delivers, I think it's very tricky to bat against him in the T20 format. But those are some of the guys that I think are going to be in the spotlight. Yes, in the ODIs. I mean, obviously, you guys are talking about Calvarena. Calvarena, of course, I would like to see him again as well. I think Keshav also in the ODI format. But let's get into the comments over here. Werner saying, for the T20s, I really look forward to seeing Steerman. Yes, will do if he gets a chance. I'm not sure whether Kyle and Janneman will get games in T20s, but fingers crossed for at least one game. And I back that statement, Werner. Thank you for that comment. And yeah, Glenton Steerman, we have obviously an interview with Glenton. We did that. It's in the Daily Show. We did an exclusive interview. Sorry, he didn't in the Daily Show. We've only had 2 guests on the Daily Show so far. And that has been obviously Debray Shamsi and Reinhard van Tonda last night. So we did an exclusive interview with Steerman. You can check that out in the exclusive interview section on the channel. He has a very good Yorker on him. So obviously that's always handy in this format, and he's very accurate. He likes to bowl on the same spot, but he spoke about how he needs to change his game, obviously, for the shorter formats. Obviously, a very good first-class cricketer, and he's been trying to not be a one type of style cricketer. He doesn't want to be a one-format man or one-trick pony. So we know that he's been adding to his variations. I'm also interested to see Bjorn Hendricks, what he can do. Janneman Malan. Tex says, Janneman Malan, Quinton de Kock, Rassie van der Dussen. They are batsmen I'm looking forward to. Yes, of course. Who doesn't want to see this attacking type of talent? I mean, Rassie van der Dussen proving that the big stage doesn't matter to him. He can perform under pressure. He's come in and hit the ground running. Now, that is what we need from our older guys. Our older guys like Rassie van der Dussen, Pat van Biljon, John Smuts, when they get given an opportunity, they need to hit the ground running immediately. I don't think there's a time for them to settle in and still find their feet. There'll be a small teething period, obviously, for any single player coming into a new setup, but we expect them, because of the experience in the domestic game, to hit the ground running immediately. Rassie van der Dussen has done that, and he's an example to all other senior players that are coming into the side. Ravi saying Steerman is the player to watch in his opinion. Well, that's a great that's a great idea. I mean, that's a great point. What am I talking about? So I think we just spoke about Glenton now, and obviously he was in an interview on our channel. We got Lubabalo saying, keen to see JJ in the T20s or 50 over squad. I would give Linda a go at the moment. Yeah, sorry, keen to see if JJ is in the T20 or 50 over squad. I would give Linda a go at the moment. Yes, and this is obviously after we spoke about, I think me and Lubabalo spoke about this on one of our shows, where we spoke about who are the best finishers in the game, who are those number 6s, who are those players that we can look at. We obviously, other players like Vian Libber came into the equation. If you're looking for an all-rounder option, and big hitters like Marco Murray came into the equation if you're looking for that big hitter batting all-round, a batting type of players, or at the number 6 position. Now, this is another player I think actually that's more senior, will be all eyes on him, is obviously David Miller. I think this is now a chance for David Miller to actually show what he can do. Because when I look at David Miller and his run of form, he hasn't been in the greatest form. And yes, there has been a couple of not outs of a year, but I think the highest score that he scored was 65 back in February the 3rd, 2019. That's it. That's a half century. And the last century he scored is obviously in Potchefstroom in 2017. So yes, there has been a lot of not outs in between. That obviously means that he's coming in later in the innings. But we haven't really seen him much in the IPL. So we don't know what his form is like. He hasn't really been in the greatest of form for South Africa in the last couple of games. So it's time for David Miller to actually step up, because being one of the more senior guys in the side, it's time for him to actually show what he has in his arsenal, that he can do this consistently and be that guy for the Proteas. We got a bar saying, yeah, Keshav Maharaj for the shorter formats. I know he's more of a bowler, but he offers some with the bat. Keshav's obviously been selected as a limited overs captain for the Dolphins, so they really back his limited overs ability. I think that he's the type of player that can play all formats, so that will be very interesting to see. We see that in the first class cricket, he really puts his hand up with the bat. He's also scored a century. He's also scored a 50 for the Proteas as well. And yeah, 100 or two for the Dolphins in first class cricket. Ravi saying I would bench the senior players for the T20s and bring them back for the ODIs right now. Will be great to see Kyle, Verena, Malan, Maharaj, and Steamer in green. Of course it would be. Everybody wants to see the newbies. A lot of people were actually surprised that we don't have more guys that are younger in the squad. I think that a lot of people thought that that's what the direction would be. I think that from the squad that was selected for the series is that priority is to win the series and to build momentum with a solid team that they can trust until we get to that World Cup. And I think that they with you can see all the spinners that were picked. They're obviously thinking about playing two spinners. You have to kind of play two spinners or maybe even three for India. Now, Andre Klaasen is a guy that can do it all. He can spin a little. He can bat very well, of course, and wicketkeeper as well as a backup wicketkeeper. So he really has the ability to be able to maybe give you one over in between if needed. He can give that extra option. I would like to see, obviously, Klaasen get selected in that number 5 role. I think that that's a perfect role for him. And I would like to see him given a chance, obviously. Vernie Rasmus saying Ravi it will probably be the other way around. In the T20 World Cup less than a year away, the ODIs will be the place for an experiment and give the younger guys games. And I agree with that point, Werner, 100%. Dexter, what do you think of these injuries going into the series? Now, it's going to be tough for Riza to get an opportunity. I feel I'm trying to think where he's going to be selected for. He's going to be selected for the ODIs or the T20s. I think based on his form in the Mzansi Super League and the way he's performed in the last 2 Mzansi Super Leagues, he's been extremely decent in the T20 format. So I think that Riza can be given an opportunity. Riza has a big fan club and a lot of people love the way he plays. And it could be an option if we're going to see them. There's so many players competing for similar positions, though, in the squad, if I look at it. That is my major concern. Are guys going on this camp and then probably maybe or not going to get an opportunity? Because I mean, Quinton is an opener. Temba's possibly going to be an opener. We've seen them use him in the opening position. We know that Faf can open. He showed that in the IPL, but they'll probably select him in the number 3 position. That is the most likely one. Riza is an opening batsman on number 3. John Smuts opens and bats anywhere in the top 6. Rassi van der Dussen, obviously, we know 4. There's not a lot of competition for Rassi, really, for that number 4 position, I feel. It's only really, you can alternate with Faf, maybe. Pat van Biljon, also a top-order batsman. But we can see that in the T20 format, he's been trusted in that 5-6 position. And David Miller, obviously, probably competing for that number 4 or 5 position. So there's quite a lot of batsmen over here that can open an innings, and that will probably compete for that 1, 2, and 3 spot. And that's where they have focused on the most, to get a solid partnership at the top of the order. I think that was the thinking when it comes to selection. Let's get into some more of the comments. By saying Miller was unfortunate that RR had 4 stronger overseas players that were mainstays for the vast majority of the tournament. That is true. But you obviously you want the best in your team. You want the best players in your side. And it's tough for Miller. I think Miller just he has that ability and he has all the talent. We all know his ability, that he has it in his arsenal to really turn it on. So I'm just hoping that I want all the players to do really well, so we have a squad of amazing players and informed players to pick from. I mean, we want to win this World Cup. But times we've been a World Cup. Lubabalo saying Miller not getting IPL games, this could be good for the Proteas. interesting point. Can you expand on that, Luval? I would really like to hear why you say that. I can make an assumption of what you are trying to say, maybe. That he's obviously hungry now to prove that he can play the format and to prove guys wrong for not picking him in the IPL. Also, he's fresh and hasn't really played much cricket, so he comes into the squad really fresh and renewed, and really with a point to prove. And I think that's what you mean, and by saying that, and that's much my interpretation. You're gonna have to correct me in the comments or add on to what I said. Got a couple from Ravi over here. He says, I think the selectors know what the seniors are capable of. It's time to blood in our youngsters and get them to play against World Cup T20 finalists. It's a very excellent point. Not really many youngsters to pick from for that top order. Maybe Kyle. Kyle showed his ability for the Paul Rocks in the Mzansi Super League, and Yanaman Malan as batsmen. There's not a lot of batsmen, obviously, to pick from when it comes to youngsters. Bowlers-wise, he's quite a bit. But with the current best bowlers current best bowling unit being so young, it's very difficult for any young bowler to come into this side and try to prove a point. So the squad is what the squad is, and we're going to kind of make an 11 out of that. And we'll obviously do shows down the line where we pick the 11 or the best 11 that you guys think from the 24-man squad is available. Kesh can bat well. I see him as a bowling all-rounder. He will notch up a few hundreds in his career. I like Riza Index, and he's capable of much more. Perhaps 2021 will be his swan song. Verne Rasmus saying Miller had a very solid ODI series against Australia, but went under the radar due to Klassen performing so well. 64, 37 not out. He really took on the responsibility of being there at the end. Very true. In the ODIs, he has shown more ability than I think the T20s really. But I think he's very hot and cold at the moment. I don't think he's shown consistency. Like Rassie, for example, is the type of consistency I'm talking about. I want to see David Miller score consistent runs like Rassie does. That's what we're trying to look for in a guy that is already 30 and older. Guys that will just take the game by the horns, and every single time they walk out to the middle, you expect them to score. I mean, yes, you go out. Yes, you get good deliveries. Yes, you'll have situations where you get a little bit unlucky. But the expectation must be there. The intent must be there. And you want to be able to see that. Rubabalo saying, yes, he will be fresh and will look to prove a point. He's one of the highly rated T20 batsmen with a huge reputation, and he will look to save that reputation. 100%. I agree 100% with Rubabalo, what he's saying, and I would hope that that's exactly what will happen. So we've highlighted all the guys. We've highlighted the guys in the spotlight. We put the guys in the spotlight to be really excited to see. I'm so glad that you guys have said that in the comments. For the guys that watch this video a little later, I want you guys to obviously comment in the comment section and let me know who are the players that you guys would like to see. Go to our Facebook page, get involved with the post that we posted with this video in it, and get involved over there. Get your friends, tag your friends in it. Let them watch this video. Let them give us their thoughts on who they think are in the spotlight with regards to South African cricket. Let us know what you guys think. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. Click that notification bell for all future videos. Download the latest issue of the magazine. Link is on the screen and in the description as well. Become a subscriber. It's free of charge. Excellent articles from all of our writers. Different angles, the untold stories of South African cricket. You will find all of that in our monthly magazine. Don't forget to obviously visit our website. That's where you'll get major updates. It's time now to get on that website and get going and share our platform, because it's going to get really, really busy during the England series. We're going to try to give you some great, unique content. If you are a small business or if you are a business owner and you're looking to get sales online, we have a free video on this channel, and the link is also in the description if you want to go get sales online. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning in, and I hope you guys really, really enjoyed this video, and we'll see you guys very, very soon. Take care, everyone.